Okay. Hope everybody feels incredible this beautiful morning. It's with a solemn, sort of like vibe that I announced that we are ending the calls as they exist in this format. We'll be ending these at the end of the month. Um, from now on, the morning calls are going to be reserved for members of the Kaizen Academy. And what you'll get for that little $45 a month is not only the 20 morning trainings, Monday through Friday, every single morning, 7:30 a.m. with the affirmations, etc., so forth, but also you'll get at least two what we're calling millionaire moments, where I'll be interviewing different entrepreneurs. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we have some incredible guests set up for you. It will include our book club. It will include the 3 to 4 master classes for the month, and you'll be able to get all of that for just the $45 a month. So if you would like the link to sign up for that, if you want to keep these calls going for yourself, then make sure you reach out to me and say, send me the link. Inbox me and say, send me the link. But again, just to kind of make it official, what we're doing starting February 1st is we're moving the morning calls in-house. Like, my mentor has made it so that I can't do it for free anymore. He's basically saying that I am playing myself and I'm robbing you as well. So if you feel like it's worth it, if you feel like it's worth $1.50 a day to have the 20 trainings Monday through Friday, the 3 master classes that we do every single week. Um, you'll also get the Obsessed with Success trainings. We talked about that, but then we're starting this Millionaire Moments thing. If that feels to you like it's worth $1.50 a day, can somebody give me that in the comments? $1.50 a day, $1.50 a day, y'all. And you know, I, I, it sucks. It always sucks changing things. It always feels really weird. But I hope y'all ride with me. I hope y'all understand that this is a movement forward for us to do it the right way. Yeah, so $1.50 a day, $1.50 a day. That's right. Yeah, I appreciate that, Jazz. Yeah, Crystal. $1.50 a day. So that'll come out to about $45 a month. And hey, if I don't help you make $45 every month, then I'm doing something wrong anyway. Ain't that a fact? So we'll see how this thing goes. This morning, what we want to talk about, though, is how to stop complaining. How to stop complaining, right? Because at the end of the day, what we're talking about here is that Mondays, for some reason, everybody's always like, TGIF, thank God it's Friday, but nobody really kicks it about TGIM. Thank God it's Monday. You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to kind of throw it out there because, um, shoot, I think Mondays are pretty incredible. I ain't lying. I feel like Mondays is the vibe, because every Monday we get another chance to do it again. I want you to imagine that it's Sunday night right now. You know, you don't really want to go to work on Monday. I know this particular Monday we had a holiday, so we're gonna say Tuesday. But there you are complaining. You're upset that tomorrow is Monday, right? And then suddenly there's a knock on the door. You open it, and there's the Grim Reaper. The cat with the thing, right? He loves his work. He whispers in your ear. He's about to take you to the other side. You ain't even sure which other side he's talking about. But after a couple minutes, you invite that fool in, right? So now y'all watching the NFL Sunday night game, whatever it is, y'all cooling out. Naturally, this fool is a Dallas Cowboys fan. You could have guessed that. But now it's the fourth quarter. And even though you tried to overserve the Grim Reaper, you remember he's already dead, right? I know I'm sounding crazy, but think about it. If the Grim Reaper showed up, you'd be like, damn, Monday is looking pretty good, don't it? What would you trade for a couple hundred more Mondays? What would you trade for a couple thousand more Mondays, right? A lot of us would take decades of Mondays with no Saturday or Sunday as long as you can stay here with the people you love, right? Because there's worse things than having to go to work on a Tuesday morning or on a Monday morning. It's better than brain surgery. It's better than a tumor. It's better than a heart attack. It's better than an ulcer. It's better than watching any political news networks. You got me? But let's get real. If you're fortunate enough to have one or both of your parents, I hope you recognize that it's pretty likely they have fewer Mondays left than you do. Ain't that something? You will eventually, just like your child will eventually get a Happy Meal for the last time, you will eventually have a last phone call with a parent, right? If you're lucky, you still have your grandparents. You might have even fewer Mondays with your grandparents than you have with your parents. And if you want to put this on pause and go call your people right now, I totally understand, right? We'll wait for you. But what I wanted to give you this morning is some steps to stop complaining. I don't know what other people do to stop complaining, but I do know what's worked for me. And I'm here to tell you it ain't even all that difficult. First, what you got to do is pay attention to how much you complain. When you recognize that you complain more than you realize, your awareness might help you notice you're complaining, right? You might notice you're complaining in your head before the words leave your mouth. And then you might decide to stand down. You might decide to say nothing at all if you ain't got something nice to say. Y'all remember that one? If you ain't got something nice to say, then say nothing. There is no reason for you to ruin everybody else's experience. So what I got for you this morning is I have, I'm going to call it 4 different steps for you to stop complaining. And I dare you write these in your power book. I hope that you are able to draw upon these whenever you're feeling kind of weird. But right now, I want you to go, I'm done complaining. Somebody give it to me. I'm done complaining. If you're watching us on Instagram, if you're watching us on Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever it is, somebody give it to me. I'm done complaining. Somebody give it to me. Too blessed to be stressed. Too blessed to be stressed. Somebody give it to me. Too blessed to be stressed. This is an important thing, y'all, because it is our attitude that determines our altitude. Can I get a witness? It is our attitude that determines our altitude. So I got a few for you. Here's the first one. Stop taking it personal. Stop taking it personal. Can somebody give me that in the chat? Stop taking it personal. That's the first one, right? Yeah, your food is late. Your food is cold. You're hungry, right? And then once you get your meal, it wasn't nearly what you expected. You're like, dang, it looks so different on the menu. But here's what's worse. You take offense, right? You take offense like the waiter and the kitchen were conspiring to offend you. Millionaire, if you will just seek to replace empathy with that offense, if you will just seek to, instead of taking it personal, have some compassion, you might find yourself asking yourself questions like, I wonder why my waitress seems so down. Or, hey, I wonder why the kitchen is struggling. Because you know you can leave and try another restaurant, right? You can only be offended if you believe you've somehow been harmed. What if this ain't about you at all? What if you decide that everything this person said about you is revealing how they feel about themselves? What if you recognize that hurt people hurt people? What if you recognize that critics are saying way more about themselves than they are the thing that they're criticizing? What if you got to the point where you realized the world ain't half as bad as you? Huh? What if you removed offense? I bet you would stop complaining. Here's the second one. Recognize when you got no control. Recognize when you have no control. Somebody give me that one. Give me that one. Recognize when you have no control. Recognize when you have no control. Am I making sense to somebody out there? What do I mean by that? There's 2 types of problems. One of my mentors taught me that you got one type of problem that belongs to you. We'll call that an MP, a my problem. In this case, you can and should do something about it. You can and should do something about whatever made you want to complain. But the second type of problem is a SEP, somebody else's problem. For instance, If the problem, because I know I got a lot of news watchers out there, check it out. If the problem belongs to the president of the United States, I want you to remember they worked hella hard to acquire probably the worst job on earth, right? If you want to know how bad the president's job is, all you got to do is look at how fast Obama aged after he got into office. He came in looking young as heck and left looking like your pawpaw. Let the president get old faster while you let things go. Somebody give it to me. Let go and let God. Let go and let God. You can spend a lot of time complaining about things you can't control, but the best thing for you, the best thing for your stress level, the best thing for getting rid of all that cortisol you pumping through your brains, the best thing for you to get rid of aging prematurely is to accept things as they are and let them go without complaining. Somebody say, let go and let God. Let go and let God. Let go and let God. Somebody give it to me. Only if it makes sense. Only if it makes sense to you, right? Here's the third one, y'all. Focus on solutions. Focus on solutions. Now, what do we mean by that? I don't care if you're at home or if you're at work. Instead of complaining, focus on solutions. If there's an action that you can take, instead of complaining, remember that direction is way more important than speed. You might find that acting actually reduces your negativity because it causes you to engage your creativity. And you were created by a creator to be creative. It's not until you're using your creativity that you're in touch with your divinity. Does that make sense to somebody out there? I don't know how often you think about it, but God creates through the use of your imagination. That's one of my favorite affirmations we say every morning. God creates through the use of my imagination. And I need you to understand there's always a solution to the stuff you complain about. And one of the best ways to stop complaining is to turn your attention to solving a problem or fixing a challenge or fixing what's broken. You got to address that thing. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, all of a sudden your creativity kicks in and you start to figure out what needs to change if we're going to get things from good to better to best, right? If we humans ain't nothing else, we are infinitely creative. And what I know is that all creativity comes from constraints. You should type that in your notes. You should type that in the chat. You should write that in your notes. All creativity comes from constraints. Think about that. Your mama wasn't creative with that pack of ramen noodles or whatever it was because she had to. Your mama wasn't in the kitchen, doing miracles like Jesus did with the fish and the loaves because she wanted to. Nah, creativity comes from constraints. Man, I remember my mama used to do such magic. I would wonder where it came from. But I'm going to tell you what happened. Creativity comes from constraints. You've always had the power to change things in your little corner of the world. But all I'm suggesting is instead of complaining, do something to make things better. And if all creativity comes from constraints, and we were created by a creator to be creative, it is the obstacles that bring out the God in us. Why am I upset again? And that leads us to number 4, right? Which is change your perspective. What I just did there was an example of changing my perspective, because you got to remember, it ain't the event that causes you to complain. It's your belief about the event. And all I'm suggesting to you is that whenever you're about to blame somebody else, instead switch that sentence up to say, I give all the power over my life to blank. Oh, I blame the Republicans. Now watch this. I give all control of my life over to the Republicans. You see how stupid that sounds? I dare you try that. Change your perspective. It ain't the event that causes you to complain. It's your belief about the event. So if you treat something like it's a test of your patience, you're going to find you do better than just complaining and talking yourself into a negative state, right? There's this story one of my mentors tells about how he's riding on the train home and these little kids are just going nuts. And so he starts thinking all of these thoughts to himself about what kind of father is this? He's raising a bunch of menaces to society. You know what I mean? Oh, this is pissing me off. You know what I mean? Why are his kids so loud? They jumping all over the seats and stuff like that. He's like, sir, when he couldn't take it no more, sir, right? And then the man just looks up at him like he was in another state. And he's like, your children, man, and he, oh, we just left the hospital. They just now found out that their mother's about to die. Whoa, whoa. What happens is your perspective shifts at the minute you decide to use empathy. You hear me? I can use complaining to cause stress and anxiety, or I can use empathy to suddenly feel more powerful, to feel like suddenly I have the ability to help make this person's life easier. This is what we mean by humility. It's not thinking less of yourself, it's thinking of yourself less. 4 rules that'll help you complain without being negative, right? 1, be specific. Stop generalizing everything, right? Stop generalizing everything. Be specific. You got to be specific to be prolific. Can I get a witness? Explain your complaint so that other people understand. When you say everything sucks, you're exaggerating. That's too broad. First of all, you sound crazy. Second of all, you can't solve everything. So instead of saying everything sucks, maybe you say, we don't have the support that we need to take care of clients. We need another person. See, that's different from everything sucks. Here's the second one. Focus on the problem, right? Not the person, the problem. This one can be a little bit more difficult, right? A lot of times we delve into, because we've taken it personal, it's like we want to blame somebody, right? But what we might find is the person isn't to blame. The system is, the process is, right? But if it turns out to be this person's fault, maybe you treat them like you'd want your children to be treated if they were to struggle in some area. You see how I just did that? I shifted the perspective. You probably, hopefully, prayerfully wouldn't scream at your children the way maybe you about to, right? So maybe you adjust that in your mind. Here's the third one I got for you. Respect other people's views and opinions. Sometimes, y'all, we forget that mental toughness a lot of times looks like tolerance. A lot of times, mental toughness looks like tolerance. It looks like, let me get bigger than this petty human emotion, right? Let me access some of the divinity in me. Let me laugh this stuff off, man. Let me laugh this stuff off, huh? Let me be a little bit more tolerant. You might be missing some information, or maybe somebody else is missing it, huh? What if you got patient? What if you got a little more professional? What if you asked them to explain what's going on, what they've tried, what else might work? If you want people to listen to your perspective, what if you decided to listen to theirs a little bit? And then the fourth one I got for you, if you must complain, is be prepared to negotiate or compromise, one or the other, right? You might not always get the solution you want. You might have to split the difference. You hear me? You might have to trade support for yourself and some other party, okay? You might have to trade and do, they call it horse trading. You might have to do a little horse trading to make sure everybody leaves the table happy. But guess what? Compromise and diplomacy are going to make you a lot more successful than being dogmatic and stubborn and closed-minded. So again, be specific, focus on the problem, not the person, respect other people's views and opinions. And then the fourth one is be prepared to negotiate or compromise. Am I missing any, y'all? Am I missing any? Anything I'm missing that you would have included? Let me see it in the comments, even if you're watching the replay. And again, I want everybody to know that we are coming to the end of an era. We're coming to the end of Sister Cypher in the house. What's up? We're coming to the end of an era here, y'all. I want to invite everybody to join the Kaizen Academy, but check it out. What you can do is you can join the newsletter. Here's how you join the newsletter, y'all. And this is how you get entry into this week's free masterclass. So make sure you do that now. Um, and check this out, y'all. This Thursday's masterclass is how to join the top 1% part 2. So if you have not yet enrolled in a newsletter and you need your link to participate in this Thursday's class, it's a free masterclass that we're doing. The members of the Kaizen Academy will get the replays for free. But if you want to be there and the $1.50 a day is a little bit too rough on you right now to get everything that we offer, because before I get out of here, let me remind you of everything that you will get as a member of the Kaizen Academy. Every single morning, you're going to get the trainings Monday through Friday, the same ones that we've been doing for free. You'll also get 2 to 4 master classes per month, including the replays. You'll get 2 millionaire moment entrepreneur interviews, and you're getting all of that in the basic tuition for the Kaizen Academy, which is about $45 a month. If you with me, somebody say $1.50 a day. $1.50 a day. If you with me. If you like, man, you crazy, how's it? I ain't paying for this. I don't get enough value. I'm not mad at you. Believe it or not, that's what I told my mentor. I was like, I don't know. It's like, you know what I mean? They're used to getting it for free. He's like, look, the more things change, the more things need to change. You know what I mean? Change is inevitable. Progress is optional. So I hope y'all are with me. I hope that you have found this to be helpful to you. And if you would like the link, appreciate that, Jasmine. Jasmine took some notes out this thing. If that feels good to you, then somebody say $1.50 a day. If you with me, yeah, kind of like that. I didn't want to, you know what I mean? I didn't think of it, but yeah, like I said, you're going to get 20 of the morning trainings every single month. You're going to get 2 to 4 master classes a month with the replays. And then you're also going to get 2 millionaire moment entrepreneur interviews where I'm going to be interviewing a lot of the best to ever do it. We got some huge guests coming. Obviously, my mentor, Mr. Les Brown, is going to be involved. But if you would like to get in, then make sure you reach out to me. Say, send me the link and I will get it to you. I appreciate you all. And we're going to get out of here, go do our affirmations. If you have not joined the affirmation call before, then I want to challenge you to come on and rock with us. I'm a log off Instagram and then come right back and we're going to do it up. And as always, remember, either your mind has to expand to match your goals or your goals will just start to shrink to match your mind. This light looks crazy. All right, I'll see y'all on Instagram.